It's episode 6. Ken, let's get into this.
We're gonna get into this twice? I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm your host, Puma.
Stop it. Just stop it.
I know.
And Tony T.
And Tony T. And we got Bucky's and the ones and twos in the back. And don't forget, we also have the future here.
Yeah, he is.
But
He's
somebody
hiding behind the cameras.
But somebody didn't watch the episode. Where is he? Where is he?
Show your sexy hand.
There he is. There he is. Okay, now get the fuck out. He didn't do his homework. Another episode of Last of Us.
Yep.
I'm gonna say
Another
this.
great episode.
I'm gonna say this. Minimal action.
Yeah.
Minimal action. But
still a great episode. Yeah. It was a tearjerker.
I don't know what to tell you guys. Like this show surprises you week in and week out.
Yep.
Right?
Sure does.
Like yeah. It's deep. It's deep. It gets deep. We'll get into this.
It gets into different levels, and it's crazy because, it stays kind of true to the game.
It does, and then there's
and then it doesn't.
And then there's big curveballs.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the episode starts with Joel and Ellie inside these people's home. Native Americans, I think they're, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And then they did a time jump 3 months ahead.
3 months ahead because they lost their vehicle, they had to walk.
Yep.
So they've been walking for 3 mother effing months.
They were pretty lost.
They're pretty lost. They're in the snow.
Yeah.
And they're asking these people for directions. Actually, it was actually kind of funny, the interaction.
Yeah.
With this couple, with this man and woman, this older man and
they're
older
elderly.
woman.
Yeah.
Elderly, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of told him, like, all they really wanted was directions. They weren't trying to rob him, but they held him at gunpoint to get directions because that's the world they live in.
Survival instinct.
That's the world that Last of Us is in. Where like every person that you meet could potentially be your death.
Of course.
So the way they came about that was, I thought, was pretty clever, pretty funny.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this episode is an Ellie episode.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's Joel and Ellie. Like they were the stars of this
But it was
episode.
her figuring out a couple of things about Joel.
About Joel.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what we're gonna get into.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically, the couple told him, like, just keep on, because they're trying to find
His brother,
Tommy.
Yeah.
And he said, just follow this road, get past the river.
They said it might be dangerous because there's a lot of dead bodies that were placed there.
And then she called it, like, what did she call it? The dead zone? Or
Death River or something
Death
like that?
River?
Yeah.
Is this the Death River, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, me watching this, it brings the game back because I remember they get to the river and there's a dam or whatever it is there.
Yeah.
And he has to fight through there, right? None of that's in this.
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
A
lot of things were taken out.
lot of things were taken out. That's why I thought this was less action. So at first I was like, kind of like, okay. I was kind of like expecting something more to happen, maybe with Fedra, but no, none of that was taken out. Mm-hmm. What did happen was they got stopped by a group of people on horseback, and you can see that, like, Joel was having issues, and plus he was having issues when they were leaving. Like it's almost like he was having panic attacks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was reliving something he didn't want to relive. And it's because of Ellie.
But we didn't know that at first. We just thought maybe he's having a medical condition or whatever it is. But they get stopped, and they basically say, we're trying to get to. We're looking for
my brother.
We're looking for my brother, and he says the name Tommy.
Yeah.
And one of the.
Well, actually, he doesn't say Tommy. He says his own name.
Oh, he says Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of them recognized his name, which is, I think, is. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the riders recognizes them.
Yeah.
They have a dog that could sniff if you're infected.
Yeah.
And Joe was freaking out because Ellie potentially could be sniffed out as infected, but obviously she fought off the disease, so she's not infected anymore.
But it was more that he was feeling inadequate.
Like that he couldn't do anything to save her. He
figure,
froze.
He couldn't figure anything out.
Yeah, he froze. Long story short, they said, come with us.
Yeah.
They take him to this town in Wyoming, right there in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And when they get there, Joel sees his brother Tommy, and a reunion because it's been years since they saw each other.
Yeah, of course.
And his whole mission was to take Ellie, but also to see his brother.
Yeah. And actually
and
try to get him to help.
That hug that they gave each other,
yeah,
was pretty deep. I mean, yeah, like that's what you would expect for somebody that you haven't seen for a long time.
Oh, of course.
And so they get to the town,
even if you're pissed off.
Yeah, and this town is freaking amazing, right? They basically built a society. They're very protective of the society, which is why they were questioning them. But I mean, they had power, they had electricity, everybody had homes, they had protected walls. It was far away from all other civilization, so they're relatively safe.
Yeah.
It felt like a little utopia in the middle of this Last of Us.
It felt like a little bit of the past, what they had before.
Dude, they even had a Christmas tree. They were celebrating Christmas.
They even had a theater.
And they had a movie theater, right?
They had farms.
Yeah, they had farms. I mean, it was
animals.
Yeah,
all that.
Oh, yeah. Remember they were talking about what they want to do once, if they could have their own future. They want to be a sheep herder, and then they had sheep.
Yep.
I mean, I thought that was pretty crazy. But the point being, it felt like Joel felt like he completed his mission. He got Ellie to where he needed to get her.
Yeah.
And he wanted to pass her off
to her brother.
Because
he felt like he couldn't handle it.
Yeah. And this is where this episode hits the emotional chords, because he basically breaks down in front of his brother and saying, you know, like, I can't do this. I'm old. I can't hear. I'm losing control. Like I feel like I'm not
what I once was.
Yeah, I'm not what I once was. He's a lot older than he was when we met him in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of his feelings come out, which he hasn't shared in all of these episodes.
No.
Like, cause he's very like
to
a
himself,
man. Like a man. Right? We don't like to share what we're feeling and thinking, and he literally shares what he's feeling and thinking, and you feel like his emotions bleed out. Now, there was one particular scene where he's looking at this town and he sees people playing in the snow, and for a moment he captures a vision he sees a girl that looks just like his daughter. Like, seriously, and he almost had like a panic attack. Like,
well, he was going through that through the whole episode.
Yeah, he was going, but like when he
saw
that
was that PTSD from his daughter.
Yeah,
and he thought he saw her.
He thought he saw her, and then he realized it wasn't. But for a moment there, he felt like, maybe what if, right? Yeah. Like that's
what hurts more.
That's the things that really like hit you, because you could feel his emotion. You could feel Joel's emotion in this.
Of course.
Played amazingly by Pedro Pascal, man. Like, he's if you weren't sure if he was Joel, he proved it this episode.
Yeah.
But nothing tops what Bella Ramsey did as Ellie, I think.
Oh, of course. She's doing a real good job.
They took care of her. They took a shower. She's like looking around the house of Tommy's house with his new wife. I forgot her name. I'm sorry. I know.
I forgot her name too. Dude.
Yeah.
I've been trying to.
If somebody wants to look it up.
He does not.
He does not. He is not. Anyways, she's in the house and she sees like a sign on the wall, and it says like a boy's name.
Yeah.
And it says Sarah.
Yeah.
And she puts two and two together, like, oh, you must have lost somebody, which was Tommy's fiance or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and she goes, oh, they're only like, oh, you lost your kids. I'm sorry about that. She goes, I lost one kid. And she goes, oh, Sarah was Joel's daughter. And that's when Ellie realized that Joel had a daughter.
Yeah, she kind of spilled the beans.
She spilled the beans, and you can see the emotion on Ellie's face. Like, wow, okay, she didn't realize that. Oh, I tell you?
That hit her a certain way.
That hit her. But the thing is, in this episode, she had the most smartest mouth. Exactly.
Oh, I was going to say that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show was hilarious. She was acting like a little badass.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
She was cursing at them. She's like, not at the table. Not at the table, Carlos.
Where's your manners?
Where's your manners? Because they were trying to eat dinner, and she was just kind of like, what the fuck?
She was just mouthing all that shit. That was dope.
You know, like, yeah, like, and like that's the character of Ellie on the show. Like, that's literally how she acts in the game, right?
Yeah.
So like that was deep.
Yeah, that's more of her in the game.
And at this point, Joel decides, I'm gonna give Ellie to my brother. He explains why he gave Ellie to his brother. He can handle it. He goes, you're younger, you can take her to where the Fireflies are in Colorado. And he basically says, I can't do it. I can't, and he says, I can't lose. I can't handle losing her.
Yeah. Right.
So you're better off taking her. And his brother acquiesced. He's like, okay, I'll do it. Right.
Yeah, he was about to.
And
but that talking that Ellie gave Joel that night before.
Yeah. So Joel goes to see Ellie and tells her what's up.
Yeah.
And they have a little conversation.
Well, she heard. She was spying on him.
She overheard.
Yeah.
Right. And she confronted him.
Yeah.
And he basically said, I'm sending you with my brother. And he said the same thing that he said to his brother. And she called him out on it. She called him out on his fucking bullshit. Like, it's like everybody, it's like, I can't lose you. I've already lost everything. And she questions, like, who's Sarah? Like, is that your daughter? I'm sorry about that. And and that triggered him.
Oh, he got super standoffish with that one.
I mean, if there's any episode that would be like, what, not Oscars, but what are they, the Emmy, like Emmy episode? Emmy worthy, it would be this episode, because the emotions that they portrayed in that conversation between Ellie and Joel was like,
I'm definitely going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I think episode, was it 3?
With Frank
and Bill? Yeah.
I agree that was
okay. That one, yeah.
But I felt this was way harder because those two are like a one-off episode, and you feel them and you understand the love that they shared. But this, he basically is like, I can't do it, and he's fucking having panic attacks. He's like, if I lose you, I'm losing myself. And she said, what did she say? She's like, everybody's left me, like. And my friends,
everybody's
my family,
either died or left me.
And the only person that I feel safe with is you. And she pushed him, and she fucking cried, and like, boom, like seriously, like I wanted to fucking cry, like damn, like that's some great shit.
Yeah, I teared up a little bit.
Like I'll tell you, this show hits, and I'm telling you, there's hardly no action in this.
Yeah.
Right, but that hit, and then it goes to the next morning. Tommy and Ellie are about to leave.
Ready to go.
They go to horse. They go to get the horse to take off, and who's there?
And Joel was waiting for them.
And Joel goes, you know what? I never gave you the option if you want to go with him or if you want to be. And
she didn't let him finish. The sentence.
She didn't let him finish. Like, I'm coming with you, and she takes him. Let's go. Puts the backpack, and I think that right there, that was the moment that their bond is sealed. Like it's over. Like these two are a team. All the things about it. He's saying like she's cargo and all that stuff. That was over at this fucking moment.
Yeah.
And that hit, man. I'm like.
That's why the episode's called Kin.
That's why, because now they became kin.
Yeah.
And they go to Colorado, right? They get to Colorado in the snow, and that's the game. I remember this.
Yeah.
But there was
it was a whole thing. Yeah. I was expecting a whole thing.
Yeah.
Or at least
the monkeys were. There were. Oh, by the way, there was monkeys. Yeah, that's part of the game. I remember that.
There was other animals too.
Like because nature. That's just showing you that nature has reclaimed this earth.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of like I Am Legend.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You know what? Is this I Am Legend universe?
What?
Are you saying that the I Am Legend monsters are the same as The Last of Us? No, because it was a virus.
It's not the same.
Because it was a virus. And this is a fungus.
And those other ones look like humans, just like
whatever.
So there's nobody there. I mean, you could tell that they. Now I kind of try to remember, because did you play the game at all?
I didn't play it, but I kind of remember it. So.
Yeah. So when they got to the university,
yes,
they had to like get through there, and they had moments.
They had to navigate
Yeah.
Yes, it was very
And
short.
some of the visuals of the campus was the visuals of the game too. I
Yes.
remember like going through like under the bridge and other scenes.
and inside the labs and
Yeah.
all that.
Basically, what they found out when they got inside, long story short, they're not there.
There's no fireflies.
There's no fireflies. They relocated to another location that they found.
Yeah.
And it said-
Supposedly in Salt Lake City.
in Salt Lake City, and they said, okay, well, let's go to Salt Lake City, and that's when they see a group of like
4.
4 raiders, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it,
they
bad dudes.
Yeah, they weren't armed. They were like mailing armed,
Yeah.
but not. Like,
And they leave. They're trying to sneak away without getting caught, and it for a moment it seems like they got away.
yeah.
But there was one of them that was hanging around, saw them attack Joel. Joel fought him off,
Bat broke against the tree.
broke his neck, of all things, right?
Oh yeah, that was after.
Yeah, he he got him, choked him out.
Yeah.
You heard the crack,
Yeah.
and he,
That's actually straight from the game because
Yeah.
you can sneak up behind somebody and strangle them.
yes, so that's from the game.
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, they made it.
Yeah.
And Joel looks down, and there's a knife, dagger in his gut.
No, it was the bat.
It was
It
a
broke.
broken bat.
Oh, the broken bat.
Broken
That's
bat,
what it
yeah.
was. But that's why it looked like it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in his gut.
That scene did happen in the game, but it happened differently.
How did
They
it
were,
happen?
they
in
were
the game?
actually still inside one of the lab areas on the second floor.
That's right. And
And
Fell out.
one of the raiders
Yeah.
came and grabbed them, and they both fell to the first floor.
I
And Joel landed like on a pipe.
I see it punctured.
Yeah.
Right. So, but at the end of the day, they got back on their horse. They tried to run away with these raiders coming after them,
Yeah.
and they escaped.
Well, Ellie scared him with the gun too.
Adam scared him with the gun. That's
Yeah.
true. And they're escaping. They're safe.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Joel falls off the horse.
Yep.
And
That's in the game too.
he passes out, and Ellie's like, get up, get up. She's fucking crying.
Yep.
It's like,
What am I gonna do without you?
what am I gonna do, dude? As soon as you just tears, yo, tears, yo. Like it was too much. Like it's a gut punch. Again, that was the only action in this whole episode,
Yeah.
basically. But that small interaction, just boom, and then that's how the episode ends.
Yep.
That's it. We don't know what's gonna happen to Joel. I mean, we kind of know.
No, we kind of know.
But-
There might be another time jump.
But again, that was the end of the episode. I mean, what can I say? It was fantastic. I mean, this like I said in the beginning, this is the episode that really solidifies these actors as Ellie and Joel. I mean, that's it. Like,
I feel like this is where this next couple. Oh no, actually no. The next one's gonna be a prequel.
so the next one is a flashback.
Yeah.
So if you guys saw the preview, the next episode is a flashback of Ellie before she met Joel. Whatever happened
Left Behind.
while she was in school with Fedra, which I think is going to be fantastic. That's completely not part of the game. I think.
No, it is.
Is it?
That's a DLC. Left
Yeah.
Behind.
Oh,
Behind
okay.
series.
I didn't play that.
Yeah.
There you go. But not part of the original game.
What do you mean?
It was not part of the original game. It was a
No, it's
DLC.
an
It was a
add-on.
DLC,
Yeah,
but-
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Right? So they're adding that into this.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I can't wait to, like, it looks visually like interesting,
Yeah.
right?
I'm about to
And
play.
by the way, Bucky, didn't you work with the actress that's
Storm Reed. Yeah.
Storm Reed?
Storm Reed. Yeah.
Yeah, Storm Reed. Bucky worked with Storm Reed, who's going to be the main character with Ellie in the next episode. So, hey, good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you, bro. Good for you.
Thank you.
We love you, Buck.
So that's what we felt about the episode. Why don't you let us know what you felt?
Pretty much.
And yeah,
Like, subscribe, leave us comments. Hopefully you liked the episode, and we'll see you next time.
we'll see you next time, episode 7.
Yep.
Yeah.